Year 3 and welcome to today's math lesson. We're going to be looking at column subtraction today, so let's get started straight away. I'm going to share my screen. Here is your do now. All you'll need is a pen, pencil and some paper and complete the subtraction questions that are on the page. Press pause now. Brilliant, you should have finished those by now. I'm going to give you your answers. These are just simple subtraction equations. This is something that you can come back to and revisit. Maybe if you were on band 1, try band 2, and if you're on band 2, band 3, and if you did band 3, band 1 and 2 are great practice. Okay, so today's lesson, we are subtracting two 3-digit numbers and we're going to regroup hundreds and tens. So our first step to success is we're going to identify the place value of 3-digit numbers, just like we did yesterday with the column addition. We're going to represent the equation using column subtraction or Deans, and that is an optional step to use Deans. And then you're going to regroup your tens into your ones column and your hundreds into your tens column when subtracting. So let's look at our star words for today. My turn, your turn. 100. Tens, subtract, ones, regroup, and it's still relevant for today, part, whole. Let's have a look. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and we're going to go to our visualizer because we're going to go through a number of different examples on the visualizer and we're going to be using drawing Dean. I'm going to be drawing Deans to represent the equations, and then we're going to go back onto the flip chart on the screen and we're going to do a couple of examples together, and then it'll be time for your independent task. So what we need to remember with today's lesson is if we're subtracting our whole, when we're subtracting, so we're subtracting, we have our whole and we have a part and we're trying to find out that part. Hence part, whole. If we're subtracting we don't have enough ones, we can regroup a 10 from the tens column into our ones column. When we regroup our 10 into our ones column, it becomes 10 ones. It breaks apart into 10 ones. And that will be how you would have enough ones to do your subtraction. It's the same thing if you don't have enough tens to do your subtraction, so you're trying to subtract more tens than you have, you can regroup from your 100 column, and your 100 column will break apart into 10 ones. Something really, really important to remember, which is why we go on so much about place value. Right, let's get started. Our first example. As I said, I'm going to be drawing Deans for some of these examples. You can, if you want, you can come along, work alongside me, do the calculations, or you can just watch and for the method. So first step, I've written the equation here. I need to put it in column subtraction because at the moment it doesn't, I can't work this out. Let's see if the light gets, yeah. Professor Williams will be able to talk to me all about light and shadow. Okay, let's put our equation into our place value where it says hundreds, tens, ones. So 453, from that I'm going to subtract 215. I'm going to get my ruler. As I say, if you have a ruler, that's fantastic. Keeps our presentation nice and neat. So I'm now going to put this into my place value chart and draw my Deans. So I need to see how many hundreds do I have in my whole. I have 4 hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shade those in. How many tens do I have? I have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many ones? 1, 2, 3. So I have my number represented in my drawn Deans. So let's get started with the subtraction. I have 3 ones here. I need to, from my part that I'm going to be subtracting from my whole, I have 5 ones. Can I subtract 5 ones from 3 ones? No. So I remember I need to go and grab one of my tens. So remember, my 10 is made up of, my 110 is made up of 10 ones. So remember, I'm going to break it apart into 10 ones. So I'm going to take one of my 10s. I'm going to draw a little arrow so I know where it's gone. And then I'm going to draw my 10 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On my equation, I'm going to take one of my 10s. So I'm going to cross out and write how many 10s I've got left, because you can see I've got 4 10s I've left here. And then I'm going to add my 10 ones to my 3 ones, which makes 13. Then I'm going to do 13 take away 5, 13 take away 5. I know that's equal to 8 because that is the calculation we use quite a lot. I'm just going to take off 5 off my place value chart just so I can keep up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can see I have 8 left here. And I'm just going to write my 8 down here. So I now go to my 10s calculation. Well, I can see this 10 isn't actually here anymore. So I can see it's now in my 1, so I don't need to worry about it. It's now been absorbed into my 1s column, and I've updated that on my calculation. 4 take away 1, 4 10s take away 1 10 is equal to 3 10s. I'm just going to cross out here, so I know that I have 1, 2, 3 10s left here. Now I'm going to my hundreds column. No need for regrouping. I've got 4 hundreds. I'm going to take away 2 hundreds. So let's cross out our 2 hundreds. 1, 2, 4 take away 2 is equal to 2. And you can see that I've got 2 hundreds left. I worked through doing it with my Deans just to be able to show you what's going on here with the regrouping from your 10s into your 1s. If you feel like you need to have another review of that, rewind the video and take a look at it again. Maybe follow it step by step. So let's have a look. We're now going to regroup from 10s to 1s. Now, here I've already set myself up ready to complete my equation. So I'm going to talk you through it, except I've drawn too many hundreds. So I have here, let's cross that out. This is why you need to always check your work. I have here 357. I've put it in my equation here with my layout, with my column subtraction, which clearly says my hundreds, my 10s, and my 1s. So I know where I'm going to be doing my regrouping from. So how many hundreds do I have? I have 3 hundreds. How many 10s do I have? I have 5 10s. And how many 1s do I have? I have 7 1s. So let's start our subtraction. So 7 take away 5, 7 take away 2 is equal to 5. I'm going to cross off I'm going to cross off 2 1s here and write 5, just it gives me an extra check. Now here in my 10s column, I've got 5 10s and I want to take away 8 10s. Is that possible? No. So I'm going to have to go to my hundreds column because I know that 100 is equal to 10 10s and I can regroup that one of my hundreds into 10 10s. I'm going to draw 10 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Always good to double check. So I'm going to cross out one of my hundreds because it's not there anymore. And I've added 10 10s to 5 10s, which gives me 15 10s. So I'm then going to be now subtracting 8 10s. 5, 6, 7, 8. I know 15 take away 8 is equal to 7. And I can double check with my 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I put my 7 in my 10s column. Now we go to our hundreds columns. We've already used one of our hundreds in our regrouping. So 200s take away 100 is equal to 100. Absolutely. So you can see there, it's just another example. We're using our hundreds column and the fact that 100 here is equal to 10 10s. We're breaking up that 100 into 10 10s. Right, final example we're going to do like this with our Deans is going to be bringing everything together. Everything that we've done with regrouping from our 10s into 1s and our hundreds into 10s. We're going to be combining it because we're going to be regrouping from hundreds into 10s and 10s into 1s. If you just remember that when you're regrouping, you're taking your 110 into 10 ones and your 100 into 10 hundreds. That is the key. Again, why we do so much on place value. So I'm going to write out my equation using my place value and my column subtraction. 342 take away 185. That is my sum. That is what I'm going to be trying to solve. And here's my layout and my column subtraction. Here are my deans. As I said today, deans are optional, but you may find it's useful for the first one or two just to kind of refresh the skill. So I'm looking at my whole, which has 300. So I'm going to draw my 300s here. Give them a little squiggle so I know that they're hundreds. How many 10s do I have here? I have 4 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many ones? I have 1, 2. Okay, so looking at my ones column, here, I have 2 ones, and from that I need to take away 5 ones. I don't think that's going to work. So I need to go to my tens columns, my tens column. So I'm going to take one of my 10s, so I'm going to cross out here, and then I'm going to write the fact that I've taken 1 10, so it's now 3 10s, and I'm going to add it here. Remember, as it moves over here, it jumps and it breaks up from 1 10 into 10 ones. And I'm going to show you exactly the same thing on my deans. Breaks up when it crosses the barrier, shall we say. So here I have 10 ones. 10 ones add 2 ones is equal to 12 ones. So my calculation is now going to be 12 take away 5. Well, I know that 12 take away 5 is equal to 7 because it's a common calculation we do. And then I also know that 7 add 5 is equal to 12. So I'm just going to cross off my 7 ones just to double check and make sure that this has the same as this. So next, we're going to be going to our tens column. I need to take, my calculation is 3 take away 8. 3 10s take away 8 10s. I've got 3 10s here and I need to take away 8 10s. Is that possible? No. So I need to go to my hundreds column. So I am going to here, I know that when I regroup, I take one of my hundreds and I move it over to my tens column, it breaks up from 100 block into 10 of my 10 sticks. So that then becomes 13 here because I've had 3 and I'm adding on 10, becomes 13. Let's do the same on our dean's drawing. So I'm going to break this over and it comes into 10 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I've miscounted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's why you always got to count slowly. 13 take away 8. So I know that 13 take away 3 is equal to 10. I've used 3 already. So I need to subtract another 5. 10 take away 5, I know that. 10 take away 5 is equal, 10 take away 8 is equal to 5. I just did the other equation. So 13 take away 8 is equal to 5. So let's cross out 8 10s here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I have 5 remaining. So 13 take away 8 is 5. 13 take away 8 is 5. 13 take away 5 is 8. Sorry, this is totally getting myself in a bit of a mess here about that equation. Now we have got ourselves here now a hundreds column. We've already, one of our hundreds has already been regrouped into our tens. So we now just have 2 hundreds, and from that we're going to take away 100. So 2 take away 1 is equal to 1. Cross that out. 157, 157. This is exactly the same thing, except one is using column and the other one is using representing it with deans. So I'm just going to share my screen And we're going to do some examples on here. So here I have 327. From that, I'm going to subtract 138. My first starting point is I'm going to be looking at placing, obviously, my calculation in my column subtraction, and so I can see exactly what I need to do. So I'm going to have 327, 300, 2 tens and 7 ones, take away 138. So I've done this, and it's not column addition, it's column subtraction. So I'm here now into my regrouping. So 7 take away 8. Is that possible? I think we should know now that that is not possible. So we're going to go to our tens and we're going to regroup. We're going to take one of those tens and we're going to take it over here. So that 10, 110 becomes 10 ones. 17 take away 8 is equal to, okay, 17 take away 7 is equal to 10, take away one more is 9. Okay, got my first number here. So I now need to subtract my tens columns. So 3 tens, I want to subtract that from 110. My whole is 110 and I need to subtract 3 tens. I don't think that's going to work. So I need to jump and have a look at my hundreds column and then regroup. So I'm going to take one of my hundreds and I'm going to remember I'm going to break it up into 10 tens. So 110 add 10 tens is 11 tens. So you can see why I've written 11 here. So 11 take away 3 is equal to 8. And then 2 take away 1 is equal to 1. Exactly the same thing as using your Deans, except we're just going through the column. So you can see there, it jumps. When you break away from each column, it jumps. So this, from here, your 100 goes into 10 tens. From here, your 10 tens goes into, your 110 goes into 10 ones. 100 goes into 10 tens. 110 goes into 10 ones. Again, my place value is so important. Let's do another example. I'm actually going to ask you to do this example first. So grab a piece of paper and something to write with and work through your steps to success, obviously using column subtraction, not column addition. And when you finished your answer, I'm going to work through this example and see if there's, and you'll see how you do. So press pause now. Fantastic. Let's get started. So we're going to identify the place value. So 557, we have 5 hundreds, 5 tens and 7 ones, and we're going to be subtracting from that 100, 7 tens and 8 ones. When we're looking at the numbers, you should see when you're writing down the number that you're taking away from your whole. So obviously this is our whole and this is a part. If any of the place value is numbers, so your tens or ones is a larger number in your part than in your whole, you should in your head start thinking, aha, we're going to have some regrouping here. So let's work through this example. 7 ones is what I have to start off with. Can I take 7 ones? No. I have 7 ones. Can I take 8 ones from 7 ones? No. So I need to go to my tens and I need to regroup one of my tens from 110 into 10 ones. So I'm going to take one of those tens. Thank you very much. And 7 ones add 10 ones, which is now, because I've regrouped from my tens, is equal to 17 ones. Again, that place value knowledge, so important. 17 take away 8 is equal to 17 take away 7 is equal to 10, take away one more is equal to 9. So my ones column is sorted. Now I need to look at my tens column. 4 take away 7. Can I subtract 7 from 4? No, which means I need to regroup. I need to take 10 tens from my hundreds column. So I'm going to take 100 and then it's going to become 10 tens. Here I've got 4 tens, and think about it, I'm adding on that extra 10 tens. 4 add 10 is equal to 14. See now why it links together? 14 take away 7 is equal to 7. Don't have to touch my hundreds column. How lovely. 4 take away 1 is equal to 3. And if you added 379 and 178, you'd get your whole. And you can always check that as a way of looking at that. So we've done quite a few examples. I'm just going to do a quick spot the mistake or see what's going on here. So 433 take away 245 is 288. Do you agree or disagree? And I would like you to explain your reasoning for this. Best way to explain your reasoning is to just do the calculation to check. So again, on a piece of paper and something to write with, press pause and work through this example. Brilliant. Now, hopefully you will have said that you disagree, but why do we disagree? So let's have a look. I'm going to do it in pink to show the different here. So they're all in the place value here. It's in my column subtraction. So 3 ones take away 5 ones. Can't do that. So I need to regroup from my tens. So my tens here, one of my tens becomes 10 ones. 10 ones add 3 ones is equal to 13 ones. 13 take away 5 is equal to 8. It's a bit of a tricky one, that one. Okay, so we've got the number right here, but we haven't shown where we've regrouped. Okay, that's something we really need to do because otherwise it can get quite confusing. So next we have 2 take away 4. We can't do that. So I'm going to take one of my hundreds, remember, and break it into 10 tens. 2 tens add 10 tens is equal to 12 tens. Again, you see how it makes sense. 12 take away 4 is equal to 8. The number's right, but where's showing where you've regrouped? There's nothing here where you've regrouped. But at the moment your answer's right, so you may not think, why does it matter? So we've regrouped from our hundreds into our tens. So we've already taken away one of our hundreds. So 3 take away 2 is equal to 1. Aha! By not doing our regrouping, we have made our error because we didn't realize where we had to change and put your different numbers in. So change your place value, changing from hundreds into tens and tens into ones. That is why you made a mistake here from regrouping from hundreds into 10, and you didn't show that you'd taken away 100. Right, independent task. Your focus is really on the equations. Don't worry about reasoning, don't worry about the challenge. I want you to work through those equations. They are a combination of regrouping from tens into ones, hundreds into tens, and across all of them. Work through them slowly, draw your deans if you need to. Remember, I want you to represent your equation using column subtraction, or you can draw deans, whatever it makes you feel comfortable. Look forward to seeing your work on Seesaw. There is a challenge on the back on the sheet as well. Again, challenges are optional. We don't expect everyone to do the challenges. They're not compulsory. If you want to give them a go, that's absolutely fine, but don't feel like you have to. Okay, looking forward to seeing your work on Seesaw Year 3, and we will see you all tomorrow for another maths lesson. Bye-bye.